there's a phenomenon we call in kids ministry. It's called drop-off kids. That
Yeah.
means parents just drop off their children and they go do their own thing and expect their children to turn up in a certain way. I want to encourage everybody already. Don't be afraid of the term empowered parenting. In fact, be excited about it to the point where you're like, oh, can I actually be an empowered parent? Because you can.
Hi, Bolanle, my love. Hi, me love. Hi, my darling. Hi, my sugar. Let me bring Bolanle on. Let's see. This is how do I do that again? Add somebody. Yes. I think I've added you, Bolanle. Bolanle, I don't want to start jumping.
Hi, I think I've done something wrong.
You turned your camera the other way.
I know. Okay, now I see it. Oh gosh, Bolanle. That's our maths way. That's the other way. Hey.
Hey, Bolanle, 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 Bolanle. Bolanle, don't let's bring ourselves here. Let's be corporate.
Yes, let's do this.
Is that possible? It's not, so it's okay. Just be Bolanle and be KIKI. It's fine.
Me and KIKI. And the love and my love. KIKI, my darling.
You're looking.
KIKI, you're my mentor.
You know, when we were younger, my pastor would say, "You're looking born again."
What does that mean?
Instead of saying you're looking good, say, "Man, you're looking born again." I'm like, okay.
I like that.
I like that. You're looking born again.
Glory.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Bolanle. It's so good to have you here today. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Copper with KIKI. This Copper is a weekly chat with a cup of tea or coffee. And Bolanle, look at, I got that from Paris.
Oh, take me to Paris. Take me to... KIKI, we have to behave. We have.
Let's do. So let's start again.
I love you. You know, I can't hide it.
Yeah. Welcome to Copper with KIKI, where we just have very real and sincere talk over a cup of tea or cup of coffee or water, as you like it. And today Bolanle and I we're preparing for Joshua's Parenting Today's Teenage Boys Summit that's hosted by Joshua Zamin. And this summit is an annual summit for parents of teenage boys, but we have a lot of parents who come there, parents that are expecting to have teenage boys or parents of girls that just want to learn about the world of teenage boys. And so this year's summit, I'm super excited about this year's summit because of the title, the lineup. In 2020, we started the summit. And one of the reasons why we started the summit was because of COVID. In 2020, there was COVID, and a lot of the parents I work with, it just felt like it was going from up, just spinning downwards. And I just began to pray. And God said to me, the word for word, on this mountain there shall be deliverance. And I was like, okay. So when you hear the word deliverance, it's like I was like, okay. But as God began to open my eyes and I began to pray, and that parenting to this teenage boys summit. And I've got two teenage boys who are now 19 and 20, but at that point they were teenagers. So, and I began to, ask God for ways, and seeing what we were dealing with, I was actually thinking what other parents would be dealing with. And that's how Parenting Today's Teenage Boys Summit was birthed. And so this year we're going to be talking about empowered parenting. How do we become empowered as parents, particularly to raise wholesome teenage boys for the next generation, or even for themselves, wholesome young men for our generation? I'm very passionate about boys. I'm passionate about the male gender, because whether we like it or not, they're the ones that are going to hold forth the future generation, and we need to get it right with them. Because if the head is not well, the whole body would have issues. That's the way I see it. And so today we've got Bolanle Enang. Bolanle Enang.
I want to do Running Man. That will show my age. When I start doing Running Man, you just so an 80s baby.
Oh yeah, today we've got Bolanle Enang with us, and we're going to be talking about the pitfalls of parenting, or empowered parents. Bolanle, please borrow me English. Oh yeah,
It's empowered. Honestly, the topic, I remember talking to you about it, and I'm thinking empowered parenting. That's deep. And you can either go into flight or fight mode. Is it me who is echoing, or you, Kiki? Somebody's preaching. I'm sure it's me. Is it me?
Yeah.
Really?
But it's okay. Let's go on.
Okay. All right. Let's lower the volume then.
Yeah.
For me, once I heard the word empowered parenting, I thought that's powerful. And you can, like I was saying earlier, you can go into fight or flight mode. You can say, oh my gosh, I'm just going to give up on this. Yeah. Okay, do you want me to go out and come back in? I don't like the echo.
Okay.
Do you want to take me out? How do I even go out? I don't know.
But don't let's show ourselves.
Hello.
Hello, I can hear
you. I think, but it's screeching on your side, is it not?
No, it's not. I can hear you fine and well. Maybe it's just
really okay. Fantastic. So I should just bear with it. All right. Yeah. I feel like the issue of parenting is such a journey that truly you need power. Yeah. You cannot go into parenting afraid. However, many of us are there. Many of us are afraid. Many of us are scared. Can I tell you, I mean, my first biological child only turned 10 on Saturday. That means this coming Saturday was the first time I held a baby, my own baby, in my hands. I've carried babies in my heart. I have kids who are now young professionals, people who have done well with themselves. But my first one from my womb, I carried in my hands 10 years ago. And I promise you, I went into postpartum depression without knowing. Because I was afraid. I wasn't an empowered parent. I was a frightened parent. And I think that a lot of people go into parenting thinking, oh my gosh, I should have the natural instinct. I should know what to do. Why don't I know what to do? What's going on with me? And they get into flight mode. You almost give up before even starting the journey. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So I want to encourage, I think my first point of reference is once you hear empowered parenting, don't think, it's for the pros. It's for those who know what to do. No, it's for all of us. Every parent, even though you're not here with a manual, every single parent, you have this within you. You can go deep within your soul and let the Lord Almighty help you, or you can go into, I don't know what to do, and this child, parent yourself. You'll be amazed at how many parents are hands off. So there's a phenomenon we call in kids ministry. It's called drop-off kids. That means parents just drop off their children and they go do their own thing and expect their children to turn up in a certain way. I want to encourage everybody already. Don't be afraid of the term empowered parenting. In fact, be excited about it to the point where you're like, oh, can I actually be an empowered parent? Because you can.
I'm super excited about it, even though I said I know my first is 20, But you don't want to believe how excited I am about this, how much I am ready to learn as well. And when you talked about postnatal depression, I went to it as well. I couldn't touch my baby. And even though I was struggling to touch the baby, I couldn't tell anyone. So, because I was thinking, am I going mad? What's wrong with me? So, like you said, a lot of us went into it not knowing what to do, not empowered, no form of empowerment at all. I think in my own time, I had this book that I read back to back, like God knows how many times when I was pregnant. The supernatural birth, or
Childbirth.
the supernatural childbirth for the two of them, back to back, back to back. But even with that, I had no clue. I had no clue, and I'm just so grateful to God that there's one thing I always say that whatever journey we're going through, God has deposited something in someone to help us through the journey. I have what God has deposited in me to help people through the journey. And there are other people, you, Bolanle, it was from you I learned the table. And when you eat on the table with a family, you just come together, you eat, you chat. But from that to the table workshop, I said, we can actually be deliberate about eating together. So it's not just a pastime. If you see the dishes I went to buy, Bolanle, you will not believe.
No way.
Silver and gold wares, I invested in them, and I said to myself, I'm going to treat these boys like royalty because they are royalty. From that, the table workshop. I'm sure you're hearing it for the first time. I would on Sunday evening, at least once a week, I will lay the table. Take my time to cook. I've got silver spoons, lay it, everybody would eat, we'll serve ourselves, and we will chat. We're royalties.
Oh my word.
And that's me learning to be empowered. I got that bit from you. And that's why I said there's something God has put in somebody else, irrespective of how knowledgeable we think we are. God has put something in somebody else for us to be able to learn together. I love this Bible passage that where God was talking to Moses, and he said he has appointed Bezalel and I think a couple of others who are here, and I can't remember their names now. But in these men, he has put specific gifts to help Moses. With all of Moses' gifts, God still puts it.
KIKI, I'm telling you, what you just said to me has blown my mind. And I have to tell you the truth. I feel so honored. I'm like, what? Okay, Bolanle, you wrote the book, girl. You got to go do something. Go buy stuff. Make it more special. And you know what? And this is why that saying, that African saying goes, it takes a village to raise a child.
Oh,
I think it also takes a village to raise a parent, to nurture a parent. It's not just a child that you raise with a village. You actually need a village to nurture a parent.
That's beautiful. Where's my pen? Wow.
So I want to encourage people. Never ever think to yourself, how come I didn't know that? Why isn't that coming to me naturally? Why don't I know how to do this? Why didn't I think of what KIKI is saying? Because a lot of people like you and I, ordinary people, who probably, I don't know your story fully, and KIKI, I know that you have a love for boys, but the journey that you have gone in the last 4 or 5 years or so on this came out of ordinariness. And so I want to encourage everyone. You've got it in you, but then you've got it around you. And then you've got it above you. So the around you is this is part of Empowered Parenting Summit conference. It's part of how God is putting things around you to say, listen, Tunji, amazing, Bola, KIKI, there's things you can learn. There's something DDK will say. There's something Jimmy Chewe knows. There's something Oh, my darling, allow me, Brigway knows. There's something in all of
There's
these
something
people.
Daniel Enang knows.
Oh, God. That's my boo right there. Kiki. There's something Daniel Enang. As you can see, my name is Bolanle Enang. So watching. Yay. Anyway, Kiki, you did it. I can't believe you did it, but you did it. There's something all of these people know that will help you and I in our parenting journey.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
my first point of departure is don't get into flight mode. Don't
Mm.
think, why don't I know it? And they don't get into fight mode. Why do people think they know it? Who wants to teach me how to raise my son? Do you know my circumstance? That's not fight mode. Girl, you don't need that happening in your life. You need to be saying, what do I learn from this? What do I pick from this? Kiki just said it now. I wrote a book in 2018, The Power of the Table. I've not taken it as far as Kiki has. She has gone buying wares and silverwares and making a big show for her family. I just picked that up again. That's something I should do for my family. Be intentional. So, Kiki, we're saying to people, come to this summit relaxed. Come to this summit. Put down what you know.
Yeah.
Pick up something and learn. Put all of this together and make a beautiful bouquet of an empowered family life. How about that?
That's awesome. That's so awesome, Bolanle. I like what you said about the fight mode. When you said the flight or fight mode, I was thinking, okay, which one is fight mode again? But that's very true. A lot of us say that. A lot of us do that. That we're wondering,
How dare you?
is it not Bolanle? Bolanle that. What does she know that she wants to tell me? Bolanle that, and a lot of us on the lineup, we even have two young adults, Fenitoluwa and Maxine, coming.
Wait, hang on your Maxine. Come,
that baby is on fire. Don't we have two young adults coming in and they're going to be having a conversation? And, for me, I said, it's time for us to learn from these boys. Before this meeting, I just came off a meeting. And, the week after the summit, I'll be speaking at an all-government conference in Scotland from my office. And thank you, Bolanle. And you know how I was nominated for that event? A colleague, I don't know how she found out, or she saw that I wrote a book. She went on Amazon, she got the book. She doesn't have children. And she read the mantra. She read the mantra, and so when they were looking for speaker, she just came and said, "Come and talk about the mantra." And I was like, "Mantra, what?" And she told me what was in the book, and I said, "Caroline, did you get the book?" She's actually been mentor at work, and she said, "Oh yes, okay, I got your book and everything." So I'm going to be speaking there, but we were just having a meeting. All of us are speaking at the conference just before the session, and one of the things I said was, somebody asked me a question about teenagers, and I said, the people that have mentored me the most on my parenting journey are my children.
Wow.
And she said, your children? I said, yes, because I am very intentional, deliberate. I watch them, I ask them questions, and the wisdom that God has put in these children, Bolanle, you cannot beat it. And that's one of the reasons why I said, you know what, guys, come, let's even hear from you guys. Let's hear. Come and tell us what you think about what we're doing and what your mates are saying, because they talk to themselves. More than they talk to us, more than they will ever talk to us, they talk to themselves. Come and tell us. Let's hear it from you. And you know one thing I love about these children? They're very sincere. They won't come and tell you, oh, my hair is big. I've been trying to tie the hair.
Your hair is gorgeous.
They will come and say, Mom, why is your hair flying? the truth is, our children, they are one massive book that we can all learn from. And that's why I said to Maxine and Feinzolua, you guys need to come. And the beauty of their session is a convo with a father who's got teenage boys and teenage girls. It's a setup for Jimmy. Don't tell him I said it's a setup for both.
But can I just first say this to you though? I'm really proud of you on a serious note. I feel like what you do, your focus on teenagers is so powerful. I feel like what you're doing for all of us, those who don't have teenagers and those who have teenagers, those are young adult children, is you are preparing us, you equip us, you allow us into the world of teenagers. That's the world that a lot of adults are afraid of going into. Many adults, once the children cross 13, many adults freeze up. They're actually scared. So I'm a youth pastor, and so I deal with youth, okay? There's a language of their generation. In fact, I heard that phrase from Pastor Godman. I was listening to a pastor from Nigeria called Pastor Godman Akinade, and he was saying there's something called the language of a generation. I think that many of us are afraid to learn that language. Many of us are afraid to get into that space. The young people want you. They might have the exterior of people need you. But I promise you, if you just press a little, just a tiny push, you'll find that these young people actually not just need us, want us, but are desperate. They're actually asking. Because one of the scientific findings about teenagers is that they're looking for heroes. Teenagers are looking for role models. And you are that parent. You are very influential. Many parents do not know the level of influence that they have on their children. And so I want to encourage parents. Listen, your teenage child, daughter or son might look like, listen, I don't want you. It's kind of a growth process, isn't it? They are pulling away from you, but not that they want to run away from you. They're pulling away because they're learning independence. Yes, they need a type of parenting, which is now coaching. It's not more you will do this because I said so. It's now a different style, and that's what we're asking parents.
It becomes, Mom, can I go to that party? Do you think you should go to the party? What time do you think you should be back? Okay, no, Mom. Actually, okay. Do you actually want me to go? Okay, you never mind, Mom. I'll think about it and I'll be back. And they go think about it. And I like that. And then they come back with their decision. But because you're there as the coach, why do you want to go to practice? Funny story, but I've got to. My youngest son is like the one who wants to live his life. You know those young Christian boys that would where is their music concert? Where is that kind of boy? And I said, you know what? Live your life, enjoy life, so that you don't regret it. But you know your boundaries, And when he's going out, his dad will be like, well, they call it coffee, but I say it's not coffee, but that's what it is. You have to be home by 8. And he goes, no, Dad, can I be home by 10? Okay, what if you pick me up by 10 and of course we drive home, we get home by 11? And one day I said to him, this negotiation, my sister, I said, I don't like the way you go out late and everything. And he said something, Bolanle. He said, Mom, how about when I'm going out, you tell me, Papa Fulua, be careful. You shouldn't stay out late. Call me when you want me to pick you up. This was before I started driving. How about you tell me that, Mom? And I was like, so I told Dad, I said, this is what you have said. Let's try it. Bolanle, This same boy that negotiates to get home by 10, 11, by 7 p.m. is knocking on the door.
No ways.
One day I called him, I said, so what's happening that? He said, nothing. I just feel you've given me the responsibility and I don't want to let you down. Huh? I said, oh. So Bolanle, I was as shocked as you are.
That is empowered parenting.
He started driving. It's a case of, Mom, please, can I go out? When I said so, I called him, I said, the fact that at 18, you still come to say, Mom, please, can I? I said, that's good, and I'm proud of you.
Wow.
And that's all. So they come back and say, Mom, I promise I won't be late. And then he goes. And then when it's getting to 8:30, 9 p.m., oh, Mom, I'm sorry, there's traffic. And he's taking the picture of the traffic and sending to you and everything. And like you said, empowered parenting. I was like, thank God I listened.
And KIKI, can I tell you, I feel like that's one of the things.
Sorry, Chidinma is asking to join us. Should I bring her in? We've got 2 minutes more.
No worries.
Next day, I don't know who Chidinma is, but okay, she's no longer
so
there.
Right. I think that if somebody can be our hearing coach, somebody who can teach parents to just listen. You know, this thing when we listen, like when we listen to understand our children, whether they're toddlers or teenagers, we will do ourselves a lot of good. And this is why, KIKI, I feel already I'm excited, guys. You see, today is not just about talking about overcompensation, your fears as a parent, your faith as a parent, what you want, what you don't want. I think today this is talking about what it means practically to be an empowered parent. A parent who's not afraid to ask. A parent who's not afraid to say, I don't know. A parent is not afraid to listen. And you know, I think finally, for a point for me is, I feel like we, especially of African descent, you know, parents who are Africans, we were raised in a certain way, and nothing wrong with how we were raised. Very important for our generation, very important for the things we've done with our lives. However, there's a language of this particular generation that if we allow ourselves to listen to them, and we don't think that, oh, it has to be that way or no way, my way or the highway does not work. So if we as parents allow ourselves to rub minds together and learn from each other, what does it mean to have a balance? What does it mean to love my child and allow my child space? Because children and teenagers play in boundaries. What does it mean to put that big boundary in place? What does it mean for me to listen to my child? What does it mean to actually be a parent that is secure in myself? To take this I know, that I don't know. A lot of us are working on insecurity. We're too afraid. We're too afraid. And we're parenting out of fear. And I believe, KIKI, that's one of the things that you will help us. And all of us who are speaking, who will be part of this conference, will be helping each other to do. Don't parent out of fear. It's okay not to know, but it's foolishness to stay not knowing.
Yeah. I like that. It's okay not to know, but it's foolishness to stay not knowing. That's the passing word for me today. It's okay not to know, but it is foolishness to stay in not knowing. Powerful. Thank you very much, Bolanle, for this beautiful cup of tea. Even though none of us sip a cup of tea.
Let's drink water. People, we're empowered parents. But I'm excited, KIKI. I'm excited. Thanks for the lineup. The lineup is powerful. I'm looking forward to next week.
Oh man, we've got a lot of powerful people coming to speak at this conference. We've got myself, DDK, Debola Dejikurome. We've got Laome Brugwe. We've got the powerful Mr. Enang. We've got Dr. Ayodele Ajayi, Kule Ashiru, Folakemi Kuyiminu, and we've got parents, a panel of parents that are coming to talk about, their journeys, their experiences and their journeys as parents. And then we've got the very special one. That's one of them. I'm really looking forward to the special convo between the father and these two children. Bolanle, that session is going to be lit.
I'm waiting. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here in South Africa, tuning in all the way from Joburg, Josie baby. I'm waiting. I'm so excited. Thank you, Kiki, for having me. You have comments there. Thank you, everybody who joined us.
It's been an amazing half an hour.
Wonderful.
We love you all, and we look forward to seeing you. Please go to my bio and pick up the link for the registration. It's absolutely free. You don't want to miss it. I am not going to miss it. Love you.
I love you.
Bye.
I love you more. Bye. Take care. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Yeah.